Please like the videos and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you. Backhand index pointing right. Do not fear, God is with you. Jesus Christ Motivational Speech, Part 1. Do not fear, God is with you, is not just a comforting sentence, it is a powerful reminder that you are not alone in your struggles. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that fear often comes from uncertainty, when we don't know what will happen next. You may feel afraid. You may feel unsure about the future. You may feel like things are out of control. But listen carefully. Backhand index pointing right. You are not facing this alone. My dear friends, fear grows when you think you must handle everything by yourself. You overthink. You imagine worst-case scenarios. Backhand index pointing right and your mind becomes heavy. But do not fear, God is with you, changes your perspective. It reminds you. Backhand index pointing right. You have support. You still take action. You still move forward. Backhand index pointing right. But you don't carry the burden alone. And this is powerful. Because now, backhand index pointing right, fear starts to reduce. You don't panic easily. You don't feel completely lost. Backhand index pointing right. You stay calm. Even when things are uncertain. Backhand index pointing right. You keep going. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that courage comes from trust. Backhand index pointing right. When you trust, fear loses its power. So don't let fear control you. Don't step back from your path. Keep moving forward. Because when you truly believe, do not fear, God is with you. You don't feel alone or overwhelmed. You move forward with courage, calmness, and confidence, facing life with strength, knowing that no matter what happens, you are supported and guided every step of the way. Backhand index pointing right. Do not fear, God is with you. Jesus Christ Motivational Speech, Part 2. As you go deeper into this message, you begin to understand something even more powerful. Do not fear does not mean problems disappear, it means you gain the strength to face them. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that courage is not the absence of fear. Backhand index pointing right. It is moving forward despite fear. You may still feel pressure. You may still face uncertainty. But now, backhand index pointing right. You don't run away. My dear friends, many people wait for fear to go away before they act. They think, I'll start when I feel confident. Backhand index pointing right. But that moment never comes. Do not fear, God is with you. At this stage means action with courage. You take steps even when you feel nervous. You face challenges instead of avoiding them. Backhand index pointing right. You move forward anyway. And this is powerful. Because now, backhand index pointing right. Fear loses control over you. You don't stop because of doubt. You don't quit because it feels hard. Backhand index pointing right. You stay committed. Even when things feel uncomfortable. Backhand index pointing right. You continue. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that courage grows through action. Backhand index pointing right. Every step you take makes you stronger. So don't wait to feel fearless. Don't hold yourself back. Take action today. Because when you truly live, do not fear, God is with you. You don't let fear stop your progress. You move forward with courage, determination, and strength, facing challenges head-on and building confidence with every step you take. Backhand index pointing right. Do not fear, God is with you. Jesus Christ Motivational Speech, Part 3. As you go deeper, you begin to realize something even more powerful. Do not fear is not just about courage, it is about trusting the process even when you don't see the outcome. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that fear often comes from not knowing what will happen next. You may not see the result. You may not understand the situation. But now, backhand index pointing right. You don't panic about the unknown. My dear friends, uncertainty creates fear. You try to control everything. You want clear answers. Backhand index pointing right, but life doesn't always work that way. Do not fear, God is with you, at this stage means trust. You don't need to know every detail. You don't need to see the full path. Backhand index pointing right, you trust the journey. And this is powerful. Because now, backhand index pointing right, your mind becomes calm. You don't overthink every possibility. You don't stress about what might happen. Backhand index pointing right, you stay steady. Even when things are unclear. Backhand index pointing right, you keep moving forward with belief. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that trust removes fear. Backhand index pointing right, when you trust, uncertainty no longer controls you. So don't try to control everything. Don't fear the unknown. Keep moving forward. Because when you truly understand, do not fear, God is with you. You don't get stuck in worry or doubt. You move forward with trust, peace, and confidence, handling uncertainty with a calm mind and a strong heart, knowing that everything will unfold in the right way. Backhand index pointing right, do not fear, God is with you, Jesus Christ Motivational Speech, Part 4. As you go deeper into this message, you discover something even more powerful. Do not fear is not just about trusting the future, it is about finding peace in the present moment. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that fear often pulls your mind into what if. Backhand index pointing right, but peace is found in right now. You may be thinking about tomorrow. You may be worrying about outcomes. But now, backhand index pointing right, you bring your focus back to today. My dear friends, fear grows when your mind is always in the future. What if I fail? What if things go wrong? Backhand index pointing right, these thoughts create stress. But do not fear, God is with you, at this stage means presence. You focus on what you can do now. You handle what is in front of you. Backhand index pointing right, you stay in the moment. And this is powerful. Because now, backhand index pointing right, your mind becomes lighter. You don't carry tomorrow's worries today. You don't overwhelm yourself with everything at once. Backhand index pointing right, you feel calm. Even when life is uncertain. Backhand index pointing right, you stay grounded in the present. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that peace comes from presence. Backhand index pointing right, when you focus on today, fear of tomorrow fades. So don't overthink the future. Don't carry unnecessary stress. Stay present. Because when you truly live, do not fear, God is with you. You don't get overwhelmed by what might happen. You live with calmness, clarity, and control, handling each moment with peace and confidence, and moving forward step by step without fear.